Hey, 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 hey. Hello, everyone. Welcome to PowerStack 3 days challenge. So today is the first day of our PowerStack 3 days challenge. Say hello to me, where you are from and what time it is in your country. A very, very good morning to those who are in the US, America. Super good morning to those who are in the US and America. A good morning as well to those who are from the Europe and of course the Middle East. Good afternoon to those who live in Asia, and good evening to those Australians, all the Aussies and kangaroos and koalas. So if you are here with me, say hello to me in the chat box. Tell me where you're from and what time it is in your country. Welcome to our first day of Power Stack 3 days challenge. Today we are especially going to talk about, in these 3 days, we are going to talk about when ancient feng shui power meets with modern breakthroughs. So, feng shui, is feng shui a knowledge or wisdom? I say hello to Lily first. Hello, Lily. Hello, Fairy Life, and hello, Trina. It's 5 a.m. in the USA. In your area, it's 5 a.m. Very super good morning, Trina. And where is Lily from? Where is Fairy Life from? So come back to our topic. Is feng shui a wisdom or is feng shui a knowledge? So when we talk about knowledge, we know that knowledge changes over time. All right. So let's say, for example, the knowledge of the medical field. Currently, the the knowledge in the medical field at this moment is different from the medical knowledge 50 years ago, and again, it is again very different from the medical knowledge of 100 years ago, because knowledge changes according to facts, right? Whereas wisdom persists no matter where you are, no matter how when it is, how time changes, how century changes. Wisdom persists and can be passed down over time. All right. So when we talk about feng shui, I'm sure yes, it is knowledge, but more about feng shui is it is actually a wisdoms, because no matter where we are, um, doesn't matter how time changes, this wisdom of the 5,000 years persists over times. Okay, so we have Lily at Malaysia, 5 p.m. now. Good afternoon, Lily. We have Ferry live in Australia, 7 o'clock. In the same time zone with me, Ferry live. And of course, Blanquita, good evening. Nice to see you. Okay, so now we are very quickly going into the 3 days challenge. I'm going to share the slide how we are going to use the ancient wisdom of feng shui to meet with modern breakthrough. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, and so why power stack? Okay, there are so many different schools in feng shui. Why power stack? And why I've chosen the name called power stack? First, because feng shui is all about the games of energy. When you know how to capture the positive energy, there is power. That is the power you can use for yourself, for your life, for your career, for your wealth and health and relationship as well. And stack. When we talk about stack, it is a stacking of power. If you only know one method in feng shui, that is only one layer of power stacking. But if you know two, if you know three, or if you know 10 layers of powers, ten different methods from 10 different feng shui schools. There are basically 10 layers of powers you are stacking. And the more power you stack, the more powerful it is. That's why I have been thinking for I I mean we me and the team crack our head to come up with this name, Power Stack. Feeling stuck? Power stack it. It's quite straightforward and easy, isn't it? So, in this 3 days challenge, we will first go through what we are going to go through in these 3 days. So, in day one, we are going to talk about your house is talking, how your house is talking to you, and how you can unlock what's holding you back in terms of the energy of your house. And then in day one, which is today, we will also compare why old school feng shui, after activating it, the result comes so slowly, as though there's just a turtle speed working in your house, versus power stack a launch. Why power stack works and works so fast? Okay, has any one of you tried feng shui activation at home? Has any one of you hired a feng shui masters before power stack? So if yes, tell me in the comment, and then also tell me what sort of results did you see? What sort of results did the activation bring after after acting after activating the feng shui activation? So have you seen any results after the activation, or do you just feel, yeah, I feel okay, I feel good, but do you see any real breakthrough results? Just tell me in the comment. And of course, on day one, which is today, at the end of the session, I will go through with you step by step how you can start to read your space and then spot the energy blocks in your house. And of course, the most important one is to release the stuck energy of your house. And then in day two, we will talk about miss this and you have to wait for 9 years. Okay, that is this combination powers of San Sha plus Flying Star Night. So one thing why power stack works so quickly and fast, because we always emphasize on date selection. When we pick the best dates, the right time, and activate the right session with the right tools, that is when you can see boom, uh, very obvious and visible results. So if you miss this, probably you will have to wait for 9 years. So in the early beginning of this year, which is in February, so there was a time when we could and we did activated Sunset plus Flying Star Night. Okay, and some of the clients, they also feedback with different results. Client A reported that she made 335,000 after activating Sunset plus Flying Star 9. Whereas client B, she reported she made only $200. She only won a $200 voucher. So what is that one layer that made such a big difference of 325K versus only a $200 voucher? All right. So, and on day two, at the end of the day two, I will also go through with you how you can unlock the luck hiding in your home and activate it right away. So on day one, we will first release the block, and then on day two, we will also start to activate the luck until you can make 335,000. So who wants to make 325,000? Do you want to make 325,000, or do you only want to make $200? Get a $200 voucher. Just Look at the comment. Trina say no, have not. Okay. Trina has only been using the recommendation in my video. So that is a power stack feng shui activation. So basically, Trina, before meeting us, power stack, you haven't hired any feng shui master. For fairy life is yeah, little bit result on it, little bit. And Lily said not really. And Trina said, I have seen some results. So Trina is after activating power stack feng shui, right? And yeah. So why? So in later we will talk about why old school feng shui works so slow, but power stack can give you a boom right away. And on day two, we will talk about that one thing that client A did to make 325,000 versus that one thing client B didn't do. That's why she only received a $200 voucher. Okay. And Lily absolutely wants 325,000. Okay, and then on day three, we will going to talk about old school feng shui. It's like lighting a candle that you feel good, you feel comfortable in the dark. Whereas versus power stack feng shui, after activating it, it is like giving you a big boom to boom all the good luck in your house. Okay, so that is the difference we are going to talk about in day three. And if you launch the boom correctly at the right time, one feng shui boom could possibly bring you 30 years of wealth, power, and clarity. Just ask Bill Gates how he did it. All right, so welcome again. And now we are going to start with day one challenge. And I would like to first talk about the iceberg theory. So, when we look at the iceberg, it looks very beautiful, right? However, what we can see of the iceberg is probably about 10% of the entire iceberg. The other 90% is actually hiding beneath the water. So that is the iceberg theory. What we can see, what is visible is only 10%, but the rest of the 90% is hiding underneath. And so this iceberg theory, it's perfectly translated how feng shui works. So whatever decoration, whatever feng shui tips, even um, they tell you how to put the plants and what to put at this section of the house. Most of the information online you can see, even the today's lucky color. Okay, that is only about 10% of the surface. You know, in Asia, they especially like to put this lucky cat where the cat's hand will be swinging every day like that because they believe that when they put this fortune cat in their retail shop, the cat while swinging its hand, it is bringing wealth to them to the shop. And so, if by putting just a cat there can attract wealth, come on, no one has to work hard. If it is just so simple, okay? Or some putting a few crystals, putting a bagua mirror, or putting the compass. Okay, if it is so simple, no one has to work hard. Even just by putting the lucky color today, that will only probably give you about 5% of energy. What about the rest of the 90%? And this is when Power Stack Master Codes come in. Okay, when this is when we are going to discover the rest of the 90%. And so now we are going to go into this traditional feng shui school. What they used to do in those days, and even now they are still doing it. And what is the difference between the old school way versus Power Stack Master Code, the new way? So the old school way is you usually have to take at least 10 years to master one feng shui method. Whereas in Power Stack is we do a 5-day fast track. Why so fast? In the old school way, there will be dozens of memorization. There will be so many theories like 子丑寅卯辰巳午未申酉戌亥. Everything you have to memorize, and remember everything. Whereas in Power Stack Master Code is I will give you the template straight away, right away. The tools that you need to find out where is the lucky section. That's it. You don't need to know all the theories and all the history in Feng Shui. Power Stack Master Code is designed to make Feng Shui simple and easy, and for you to say goodbye to your stuck life in just 5 days. How many of you want to spend another 10, 20 years to learn Feng Shui and then to receive a promotion after 20 years? Or do you want a promotion? Do you want to make money? Do you want to receive um, upgrade your life in 5 days? Tell me in the comment, do you want to wait for another 20 years, work so hard until all your hair has fallen? or do you want it or do you want to receive it in 5 days? Okay, you want the old school way or do you prefer the Power Stack Master Code, the new way? All right, so in the old school way is confusing because there are so many theories and it's very hard to expect results. Whereas in PowerStack Master Code, you can do it yourself in just 10 minutes and start to shift the energy of your house from stuck to breakthrough. And of course, the old school way is one master, one method. If you want to master 10 methods, you have to learn from 10 different masters. And in the old school way is if you learn one feng shui method, you are not allowed, you are prohibited to learn another feng shui method because they will tell you my method is the best. Whereas in Power Stack, we stack all 12 proven systems, all 12 methods in one go and make that work fast for you. Okay, and old school way is very hard to verify because it's just all about theories, but in PowerStep Master Code is you can expect visible changes. And old school way for you to pick up one school probably cost you tens of thousands of dollars, and to master 12 schools can easily cost you more than $200,000. Whereas in PowerStack Master Code, I give you the fast track in 5 days, lifetime use that is only $24.99, one price. And the old school way is you have to trial and error and find out what's the best way for your house. But in Power Step Master Code is I give you everything step by step ready made. Just give you the map, you just map it on your floor plan and you know what to do right away. And you are not sure, you never know what time is the best time for activation. Whereas in PowerStack Master Code, you will know the precise date selection. Okay? No clear path in the traditional old school way, but in PowerStack Master Code is because you have all the tools ready. So it is repeatable for this house, for your son's house, for your daughter's house. You just bring out the template and you know what to do. Complicated theories, which is a lot of memorizations. And in PowerStack Master Code, I have picked up the juiciest juice to simplify the essence, and you will definitely know how. And of course, the old way is very difficult to apply because there are just so many theories. But in PowerStack Master Code is designed to be practical and applicable to make your life move on right away. So, who wants to wait for 20 years to get your next promotion? Fairy life wants it fast, and only fairy lives wants it fast. Only one person. Lily wants a 5 days fast track, not 20 years. Lily has signed up anyway. Okay, so these are two typical feng shui methods you can see in the market. The first one is Xuan Kong Six Way, which is when I talk about catch the golden dragon. Okay, Xuan Kong Six Way, this school of thought has actually six methods to use. Okay, that's why it is called Xuan Kong Six Way, six methods. And one of the most powerful methods in this six way is to catch the golden dragon. So in the old school way, they will tell you to catch the golden is the best. You don't need to know anything more than just to catch the golden dragon. Whereas on the other hand, the Shen Kong Flying Star School of Thought will tell you our flying star is the best because we know how the planets orbit in the solar systems. And according to how they orbit, we can catch the best energy into your house and make that work for you. And that's why Shen Kong Flying Star is the best. So that was the old school way. Six way will tell you they are the best, and you don't have to learn from anyone else. Whereas the Flying Star School, they will tell you they are the best and stop you from learning any other feng shui methods. But what if you can combine both and make them work for you at the same time? Is that powerful? With the most powerful energy to catch the golden dragon in period 9 using the golden dragon energy, and also by activating the most powerful flying star, which is flying star 9 in period 9. If I can combine these two powers and stack them together at home for myself, that will be a big boom. And I in Power Stack we are not you will not only know two schools of thoughts, you will stack at least 12 feng shui methods layer by layer together. And I will show you step by step which is the first layer you have to stack, and then which one comes second, and which one comes third. So many people they only know one school of thought, and that is probably not the first layer. And when they only know one school of thought, they thought that is the best. And that is when knowing little can be very dangerous. Okay? And now, the next school of thought is the egg mansion. I think many of you would have heard about the the egg mansion. And maybe some of you have learned about the egg mansion as well, because this is a very common method in terms of feng shui. Why so common? Because this is the easiest. Has any one of you learned or activated egg mansion feng shui? Can you just put an 8 in a comment? And have you seen any results after activating egg mansion method? I'm quite sure the answer is no. Why no? Because egg mansion is a long-term feng shui, and it would take for you to see results by using the egg mansion method, you probably have to wait for 9 or 10 years to see what's happening. So That is absolutely not the first layer we want to look at in Power Stack. Only follow your methods from your videos. Trina Sims. Trina is very, very lucky because you haven't learned about any other methods from any other feng shui masters. You just came to the right door and you know about power stacks. So many people, I've so quite a lot of my clients, they actually learn egg mentions from one master and learn something else, a little bit of something else from another master, and their life still sucks and still not seeing any results. Trina is very, very lucky, I would say. And so, a black cat and a white cat. Which cat is the best? So, in the feng shui old school way, they are only trying to argue the black cat is best, no, no, the white cat is better, my school is the best, my lineage is better than any other lineages. I don't really care whether it's a black cat or a white cat. As long it can catch a rat, that's a good cat. Right. I don't care what feng shui method I use, as long as that method is applicable for my clients, for this house, that's a good cat. Because when you only know one method, sometimes that method is not applicable in certain houses. Then you get stuck. If you know many different methods, even sometimes there are one method cannot be used in one house, but you still have another black cat, another white cat, and so on. And if you can stack all the powers together, that is really, really the best. So stop arguing which school is better, which method is better, as long as it can catch a rat. That's a good cat. Do you agree? So why power stack works and fast? Mhm. First of all, we will look at all some of the main schools in feng shui. So basically, feng shui can be divided into three terms: short term, mid term, and long term. So in the short term school of thoughts, they are yearly flying star, monthly flying star, the daily flying star, even the hourly flying star as well. And also purple white is another method in short term feng shui. All right. Where in midterm feng shui, they are also midterm flying star. They are Dagua. Six way is where I always talk about how to catch the golden dragon. And then you have Goldsmith, Nachi in Chiman as well, and of course more. And in long-term feng shui, one of the very famous one is San Yuan. Eight mansion is also from long-term feng shui. Five goes well is absolutely long-term feng shui. Luan Tou is the power side X-ray I talk about. Luan Tou basically is how you X-ray your house, use how you scan the building, scan the structure of the building, the design of the building without even have to look at the compass. So that is what I call the power stack X-ray. You just scan it, zzz, then you know that this house is a good house or not a good house. Can you buy this house or can you not buy this house? How many marks it will score to certain extent, 40% or 80% or 70%. So you will have an idea whether you want to move on to the next step after first scanning the house. So that's one tool in long term. And then we also have Dragon Gate, Ox Stars, and of course more. So in the old school way, if you learn about the short-term feng shui, your master will tell you this short-term feng shui is the best. because in a very short time you can see results. And if you learn from a master who practice long-term feng shui, they will tell you long-term feng shui is the best because the longer period of time it stays, the more powerful the energy is. However, if you only practice long-term feng shui, because it is long-term, the results will also come very slowly, like a turtle. That's why egg mansion, when I talk about egg mansion, is even if after activating anything, you probably don't see any results because that belongs to the long-term feng shui. Short-term feng shui is very good, but you always have to keep activating it. All right. Whereas mid-term feng shui, we talk about 20 years, right? It's just like period 9 is 20 years. Every period is also 20 years. So every 20 years, you just have to reactivate everything. Okay. Of course, occasionally, maybe in 1 or 2 years, you want to do some minor adjustment if you do mid-term feng shui. Whereas in power stack, if you can combine short term, mid term, and long term feng shui all in one go, why not? Who cares whether it's a black cat or a white cat? As long as it can catch a rat, that's a good cat. So in Power Stack, we will always talk about your personal lucky orientation. That's one thing. The yearly flying star, how you actually map on your house with date selections as well. Of course, you will also know the best safe spot. Many feng shui methods will only tell you how to activate health, activate wealth, but they never tell you how to save something aside. So, to activate the best safe spot is also very, very important. Otherwise, no matter how much you make, you will just spend it all recklessly. Of course, the Dragon Gate, the Oxa, Xuan Kong Water is also another very powerful method I use. Of course, Flying Star 9 is definitely a must in period 9. Golden Dragon is something you must catch in period 9. Polaris Robber is a very, very strong and advanced feng shui method. Everything will be in Power Stack Master Code. And Power Stack X-Ray, that is the first thing you want to do is to scan the place. Once you scan the place, you know how much it can go. Then only you want to look at the second layer or then the third layer and so on. But the first one is always to x-rays the house. Of course, on top of that, we will stack up 5 goes wealth, your personal 5 goes well. The house has its own 5 goes well activation. You have your own personal 5 goes well activation. That is one more layer of power stacking. And of course, we will also look at egg mansion as well. Okay, all good. And now here we come to the real people, real feng shui, real breakthrough. How this is one of my clients' real story. Her name is Fiona. This is the story of Fiona. So, how she actually opened 3 stores in 6 months and become the curry noodle queens by using power stack methods from borrowing for 15 years in the past. How she gradually made money and opened 3 stores in 6 months. Previously, she was only living on borrowing money. There was never a time she's not borrowing. Suddenly there was a car accident and she needed a few $1,000s to repair the car. And then 2 weeks later, her son met another accident and was hospitalized and need another couple of thousands to, to give to the doctor. So every time Fiona, she was only borrowing, borrowing, and borrowing. It happened that her curry noodle stores make a little bit extra of money on that day. All the extra money was only used to pay you back. If one day you got a call from Fiona, you know that she is asking for money again. So, how she actually bounced back from the most bottom of her life into started to making money. So, first of all, we found out where the original Flying Star 9 is in her place. Okay, so if this is the first time you heard about what is Flying Star 9, okay, well, we have ended period 9 officially in 2024, and period 9 will last for 20 years from 2024 all the way to 2043. And how we actually calculate this energy is depends on how our the nine planets orbit in our solar systems. There are nine planets in our solar systems, and so this we so to make your life easy, we just categorize them with the numbers of 1 to 9. All right, and now since we are in period 9, the flying star 9 will definitely has the most power. And so of course we want to activate this flying star 9, especially the original flying star 9 of your house. Not just the yearly flying star, not just the monthly flying star or daily flying star. Those are the short term, okay, short term Feng Shui method. But if you activate the original Flying Star 9, then we are talking about the mid-term activation that can last for 20 years. And of course, to activate this original Flying Star 9, we want to do it with date selection. Why date selection? When you activate the Flying Star 9, that is one layer of energy. But if you can do date selection, with the yearly Flying Star 9 is also in the same section. The monthly Flying Star 9 is also in the same section. The daily Flying Star 9 plus the hourly Flying Star 9 is also in the same section. So other than activating only one Flying Star 9, you are adding another four more layers of power in one activation. So that is five layers of power stacking we are talking about. Instead of just one, you are doing it five in one go. And that is super powerful. Other than activating the Flying Star 9, we also activated her personal five goals wealth with date selection as well. And so there are at least 10 layers of power stacking. Okay, you are only activating two feng shui methods, but we can give you 10 layers of power stacking in one go. On top of that, Egg mentioned another layer of power stacking we will look at. Other than that, X-ray scan. How we can use this X-ray scan to generate good energy, to generate better income, to make more wealth. That is another layer of power stacking. Catch the Golden Dragon. That is from the Shen Kong Six Way School of Thought. Of course, that has to come with date selection as well. Golden Dragon is absolutely one of the best chi, the best energy in period 9. If you can catch the golden dragon, that is already super powerful. And you're adding four more layers of date selection plus the golden dragon. There are at least five. So um in just these few methods, how many layers of power stacking we are talking about? There are at least 20 layers. In just these few schools you can look on your screen. We haven't talked about Polaris Robert, we haven't talked about Shen Kong water, we haven't talked about a lot more. Now, can you see the difference between the old school feng shui with only one method and power stack master code? Why you power stack works and works fast? And this is a real case of Fiona. Before power stacking, she was living in her old house for 15 years and she was only asking for money. There's not a single day she's not worried about money. And her old place was absolutely rubbish. That house is absolutely cannot be used at all. And now, with our consultation, she is renting a used place. Even just renting a place, okay? She wants to do feng shui activation. In just 2 months' time, 60 days, you can see from the photos, those are her hawker stores selling curry noodles in a restaurant. She's such an ordinary woman that ordinary people that you can meet every day in your life. So after power stack activation, 2 months later, her sales double up. 4 months later, I mean in 4 months, she got to open the second store, and her daily sales is more than $1,000 a day. Now it's more than $2,000 a day. Okay, you now it's more than $2,000 a day. And 6 months later, she got to open the third store. So the second store and the third store are taken care by two of her sons. She and her husband take care of the first store. Can you see what is before and after? She was always in debt, always asking for money, and now she's making good money. Do you know how much is $1,000 from her country? The fresh grad from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, with a bachelor degree, the fresh grad for their first job is will usually receive about $4,000 to $5,000 a month. $4,000 to $5,000 a month. But for Fiona, one store itself is making more than $2,000 a day. Okay. So do you want power stack? Yes or no? Just tell me in your comment. Do you want power stack? Ask yourself. So now we are going to do a few power stack X-ray. I have prepared some photos and we can scan it all together. Power stack X-ray is very, very fun. I will just talk about how we use this method in Feng Shui. So in so many schools of Feng Shui, you always have to find out the orientation of your house, whether it is facing north, south, east, west, northeast, southeast, northwest, southwest. But in Power Stack X-ray, you don't need a compass at all. You just have to go there, scan the place with your eyes, and you will know this house is making good money, this house is not going to make money, the husband of this house will make more money than the wife, or the wife will have more say than the husband. By just scanning the house, you can tell the children of this house are going to be good boys, good girls, or are they going to be super rebellious. By scanning of this house, you can see where the energy, the good energy, the wealth energy is coming, and where the health energy will also come. And also by just scanning X-ray, you just scan it, you will know, is the first son going to be smarter or the first daughter going to be smarter? Is the second daughter is going to do well or the second son, and so on. So this is X-ray is so much fun, and you don't need calculation at all. And of course, power stack X-ray is always the first layer we have to look at, no matter what. If you meet a feng shui master who doesn't know how to do scanning, sorry, you are definitely going to miss a lot, a lot. Okay, so yeah, let's go for it. Fairy Life and Lily. Only Fairy Life and Lily are watching, is it? What about the rest? Okay, so let's look at the first picture. Okay, and before we move on, there are three main places in your house that you must scan. The first is your bedroom. Why bedroom? Because usually you will spend 8 hours a day in your bedroom. That is one third of your life. I mean, one third of your day. 8 hours is one third of your day. So if your bedroom is good, the energy is good, the setting is right, when you rest, you are getting charged by the good energy, the right energy. But if the setting is not right, so when you rest, even you sleep for 8 hours, but when you wake up, you feel very tired. You still feel very exhausted. You don't feel like waking up. You don't want to go to work. Right? Has anyone got this feeling that you wake up, you just feel so heavy in your head? So, bedroom is definitely the first place we must scan. Okay? If the energy of your bedroom, the setting of your bedroom is not right, that is one third of your day is not right. You are not getting charged. Then how are you going to perform at work? How are you going to attract people, attract wealth? How is your life going to move on smoothly? If this one third of your day is not well, is not charged, but draining, it is going to affect one third of your life. That is a big deal. So the first thing we must scan is the bedroom, and the second place we must scan is the main entrance, because the main entrance is like the mouth. The house is like the human, and the door is like the mouth. That is when you absorb the good energy, when you breathe in, when you eat. Okay, it's just like what you put into your mouth. Are you putting nutritionist food into your mouth, health food, good diet into your mouth, or are you only eating junk food all the time and rubbish? You see, so the door, the main entrance, is absolutely so important. We want to make sure that it is always receiving good energy. And the third place, the most important place, I mean, these three places are the most important one: the bedroom, the main entrance, and the third one is the kitchen. The kitchen, the fire gives so much energy. It can cook the food from raw to cook, and everyone in the house is eating the food and is getting energy from the food to sustain us, to sustain our health, to give us energy. So if the kitchen is in a wrong place with wrong setting, the food will not be cooked with the right energy. And if we eat the food with a low energy, low vibration, that affects our mind, that affects our health, that affects our overall physical and mental health. So these three places, a good feng shui master will tell you these are the three main places you must look at. Okay? Wow. Wow. I mean, I really appreciate what you are doing, Trina, to wake up at 3:30 in the morning. Tell me what I can do for you to reward you to wake up so early in the morning. And this is only the first day. Okay, so now let's move on. We will do the first scanning. This is a bedroom. Do you feel that the energy of this bedroom is good or no? Say yes or no. Tell me, yes or no. How do you feel about this bedroom? So for this X-ray scan, I will say, I mean, I can tell that the person who used this bedroom in a long period of time, of course, if you only stay there for one night, you wouldn't experience that, okay? But if you stay in it, if this is your bedroom, of course, you're going to spend a lot of time on this in this bedroom. Fairy life say no. Trina say no. So absolutely, it is okay. When I look at this bedroom, I can tell that this person experiences a lot of stress, a lot of pressure. I'm not sure if he's making good money or not, but no matter how much he makes, he doesn't have much saving, okay? And there's usually not much left in his pocket. Also, on top of that, I can see that it is very hard for this person to receive a promotion. And yeah, even no, even though he has been staying in the same job, I mean in the same company for a long time, but his juniors received promotions. Those who came later him received promotions and run higher than him, but he's still staying at the same level. So basically, can it be fixed? Of course, yes. You just have to know how. Okay? Maybe in general you look at this photo, you feel the energy is not right, but where is not right, what is not right, okay? And we can break down one by one by scanning it in there are a lot more details we can scan. Okay, and now the second bedroom we are looking at. um well, again, this person thinks a lot. She really thinks a lot, always thinking, always very very hard to fall asleep, overthinking, anxiety, stress, nervous. All right, so can this be fixed? Yes, of course. You just have to know how. And then now we move into the third bedroom. Can you see that the bed is actually 45 degrees? You know, the bed is not aligned against the wall. It's not aligned with the wall. The bed is actually 45 degrees. Can you see that? So this is the problem. When you only learn one method from one master, they will tell you this is your lucky orientation. So your bed has to be facing your lucky orientation. And so they actually move the bed 45 degrees against the wall. Can you see that? This is 100% wrong. Never do that. No matter what, even though it is not your lucky orientation, the bed cannot be in 45 degrees. The logic is because you always want the bed to be aligned with the energy because the wall itself is it's flat. When you align with the wall, the energy is stable. It's it's flowing in the right way. But if you put it 45 degrees, you the energy is not in the right way. Basically, in short, okay. So because they don't know X-ray scan. Okay, now we come into the kitchen. The mother of this house will definitely have a bad back. She will always have a backache, especially her lower back. You see, a lot of fun, right? You don't even have to know where the stove is facing, where the kitchen is facing, where the house is facing. You just scan it and you will know. Can it be fixed? Yes, it can be fixed. Okay, next one. This is also a very common problem, especially in the modern kitchen design. This is a super bad design when the sink and the stove are facing each other because water and fire cannot go along. If any of you has the stove and the sink facing each other or right next to each other in the same line, okay, the water and fire will fight. There's always conflict in the house, there's always argument, disagreement in the house. If not your house, you are very good luck. If you notice your relative or your friends they have this such a design, well basically you can expect there will be a lot of disagreement in the house. And I don't know why nowadays they design the kitchen in this way. Oh, Trina, this is your house. If you only live alone, then that is okay. If there are you are living with a few people or shared house or with your family members, there are always arguments. Sorry to say that. Can this be fixed? Yes. This is an office. Okay. Now we are looking at the door, the main entrance. This is the office. Excuse me. So what's wrong with this office? Yes or no? Any guess? So in this office, the expenses are very high. I don't care how much you can make, but the expenses are so high. Okay, no matter how much you make, you probably spend everything or maybe even more. So that's the problem. And of course, when we look at the receptionist, I think she will have a bad back as well, especially the upper spinal cord, the neck, where the neck and shoulder is. Okay, so there are problems. And let's move on. This is another bed. um, very not ideal. A lot of stress, overthinking. It's like she only thinks one way, okay, but and couldn't see the whole picture. She can only think of one way. That is her way, and yeah, and Mike, Mike. Well, I don't want to say 100%, but Mike, if she spent long enough of time under this, I mean, on this bed, she might have to go through surgery. Yeah. So this is very not ideal, really. Okay. And then now we move on to this house. This house is always for sale. I think 2 years after it is built, it was for sale. So the second owner came in. I think 5 years later, it was for sale again. Now, about 3, 4 years after, it is again for sale. What's wrong with this house? So in X-ray scan, you will learn everything. You just look at the house and you know something wrong is this with this something is wrong with this house, and so you can avoid buying a wrong house with wrong feng shui. And of course, these two houses as well. The house on the top is always for sale, and the house at the bottom is now even on auction. The owner has gone bankrupt. So, if you have this knowledge, this wisdom of power stack X-ray, you just look at it, you know that something wrong is with this house, and don't buy it. Ask your friends not to buy it. Ask your auntie, uncle, your son, your daughter, hmm, your mother and father not to buy a house like that. Never buy a house that's on auction before consulting an experienced feng shui master. This is my advice for you. Okay? If you don't want to hire a feng shui master, at least don't buy an auction house. There must be something wrong. When I look at that house, I know that, oh, of course, this is on auction. Okay? Very simple. Is this useful? And then we look at this house. This house that I'm standing in. I'm standing in the house at the entrance looking. This house is always bringing wealth into the house. This house always has good energy coming into the house. So this is a can buy house. Okay, how to see it? This is another house. This house is also a good house. Always wealth coming into the house. Make this house is making good money. The the female owner, when our assistant Nicole talks to her, she smiled. She said yes, even without a job, but she's always having money coming into her bank account, even without a job. So this is absolutely a good house. Okay. And so this is the end of this is here this those are the few pictures I've picked up for you, and this is Power Stack X-ray. Is that fun? Do you like it? Tell me yes or no. Do you like Power Stack X-ray? All right. So Trina, you put plants. Okay, if you put it the right way, that will be very good. So do you think this is useful to know what house to buy and what house to avoid? Especially the auction house, you really want to avoid them. They might be a bit cheaper when you buy them, but the price that you have to pay after moving into an auction house where the energy is not working in the right way, the price you have to pay might be a lot more expensive. Yep. So, and now we are going to do a power stack x-ray exercise. We have scanned a few houses and a few places. We have scanned some bedrooms, kitchens, and the main entrance. And now I would like you to do an x-ray exercise with me. So just scan through your house. Is there a place in your house looks a little bit like that? Maybe not so messy, maybe not so disorganized to that extent, but is there a place or a corner in your house? There might be your living room, stuffed with a lot of things and toys, especially if you have children in the house, old clothes, and there might be a corner in your bedroom, especially the pretty ladies who have a lot of shoes. is is there a corner in your bedroom where you put all your shoes and sneakers together like that? Is there a place, or maybe in one corner or in the kitchen, where you put a lot of stuff in the kitchen, where that corner just looks a bit disorganized, a bit messy? And if there is one corner like that in your house, tell me where it is. Where is this place in your house that the energy flow is not natural? It's a bit uneven. What place is this in your house? Yes, inside a closet. Inside a closet. Anyone else? Looks like everyone's house is very organized and tidy today. That is very good. If your house is really tidy, that is really good. The vibration of your house is just flowing smoothly. So, have you picked up a spot in your house that you would like to do a cleansing for that corner? So, Trina has selected the closet. It's in the closet in the family room where there's the TV. Fairy life is very clean. Every corner is very clean. Wow, congratulations. Have you just moved into a new house? That's why it's very clean. Usually, a new house is very clean. And let's see if you live in that for another 5, 10 years, or maybe 30 years. Trina live alone and no one is here. Okay. Yep. So now we are going to do an X-ray exercise where I would like you to pick up a place. Even if you are a bit shy, you don't want to comment in the comment section, that's okay. I would like to I would like you to pick up the place where you feel that is the most disorganized place, because we are going to spot where the energy is stuck in your house. And we are going through an exercise with you. I am going to go through this exercise with you step by step. So pick up this place in your house. Okay? Pick up this place in your house. And then I would like you to imagine, after cleaning up this corner of your house, this place will be bright, this place will be clean, and the vibration will flow very nicely and steadily in this place, just like this in the picture. And now we are going to go through a cleansing in the mind. And after that, you can actually clean up the place after this exercise. Now we are just going to go through a mind cleansing of the place. And first, you spot where is the stuck zone in your house. So, I would like you to take a deep breath and imagine, oops, sorry, and imagine that the place is clean up. Slowly, one piece after another, when you organize all the things, all the stuff in the stuck zone, you can slowly feel that the energy flow of that zone has started to flow more naturally. When you realize that having a stuck zone in the house, meaning having a stuck point in your life, because the house is you and you are the house. To have a stuck zone in the house, you are giving it power to stay stuck in your life, in your career, in your business, in your interpersonal relationship, in your income and finance, even in your health, in your body. There would be a stuck zone. In your body, just as it reflects in your house. And so now, I take a deep breath. Breathe in and breathe out. I relax my neck. When I breathe out, I relax my shoulders. Slowly, I open the window nearest to this stuck zone and allow the stuck energy to go out. I breathe in and breathe out and allow the stuck in my body, in my life, to flow away. And now I lit up a candle to brighten this corner, to bring light and hope into the house. I take a deep breath. Now I relax my back and I slow down my thoughts. I can see the invisible stuck energy is flowing out of the window. I can feel the things that stuck up my life, the people who create obstacles, the incidents that creates blocks. I can feel that the stuck energies are slowly fading away. From my life, they are fading away from my workplace. They are fading away from my finance and income. The stuck energies are fading away from my body, and all these blocks, they are fading away from my mind. I breathe in and breathe out. When I breathe out, I am breathing out all the graves and negative energy that have been holding me for a long period of time. And I know now is the time to say goodbye. I will allow the block energy to go away. And with the light of the candle, I will see hope even in the darkest night. I release myself from this negative energy and I feel alive again. Okay, let's come back. How was this exercise, X-ray exercise, where you scan the stuck point of your house, the stuck zone, and let go of these blocks, the negative energies that have been holding you for a while? How do you feel? Zone? Did you actually feel that even when just doing this mind exercise, the obstacles in your mind has actually fade away? So when you really take the initiative to clean up your mind, the thoughts and emotions, it is also good to take the action to clean up the stuck zones in your house. Whether there is only one stuck zone or two stuck zones, it is always good to allow the energy flow to flow. Okay, so how do you feel about this exercise? All right, any feedback? So this is basically the last, I mean, the, this is basically the end of our first day challenge when ancient feng shui power meets modern breakthrough. All right. Thank you very much for spending time with me. Really appreciate that. How do you feel? Do you feel okay? You like it? Which part do you like the most? The scanning, the exercise, or my body and mind feel very clean now, full of positive energy. Thank you, Master Ian. Fairy life, fairy life. Your every corner is very clean, right? Fairy life. Even a clean house after a cleansing exercise in the mind, you too feel that the body and the mind feel very clean. I feel hope and let go of negativity. That's Lily. That's very good. When you do the exercise, okay, you clean up your mind, and of course after this section, take the initiative to also clean up your house, clean up the stuck zone. That will be double the effect. It is because the house is you and you are the house. It is a reflection. Okay, Lily? And then train are much better. Scanning, but how do I do that? Just clean up, okay? The first step is you want to keep it clean, all right? Thank you, Dr. Ian. Doctor. Wow, I'm not sure how should I respond to this. Thank you, Master Ian. Thanks a lot, Master Ian. Looking for more exercises. Awesome. Okay, so thank you, everyone who joined me for this first day of 3 days challenge. And the next day we will have something more exciting. Okay, miss it and you miss it for 9 years. That is when I will talk about San Sha and Flying Star Night, the combination of both. And of course, tomorrow we will also activate the good section of your house. Today, our exercise is about cleansing the stuck zone. Tomorrow, after cleansing the stuck zone, then tomorrow we will activate the good section of your house and we will go through another layer of, another round of exercise. So, thank you very much for those who tune in, whether it's good morning to you, good afternoon to you, or good night in Australia. I will. I hope to see you tomorrow at the same time. Especially for those who are very quiet and shy. Hope to see you tomorrow too. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Goodbye. You want fast? Yes, it will come very fast. Yes. Okay. See you tomorrow.